Okay, sorry about that, y'all.
Well, hello. Welcome once again to Puffin Drinks.
Hey, y'all.
I'm Dennis Cotton. Hey, hey.
I'm Jimmy Jefferson. I apologize. I
Man over
apologize.
there.
Rodney Q. Love that is.
And once again, we are here to stimulate your mind, cause you to think, cause you to like us, cause you to hate us.
And I'll cause you to subscribe with us.
Yes.
Touche.
Yep.
And if you find yourself laughing at us, we can stomach that as well. All right. Last week we talked about, is it still worthwhile in 2024 to be married? The conversation was thought provoking, it was stimulating. I'm going to use some big words here tonight.
Oh.
It was mind controlling. Okay, so much for the big words.
Okay.
But the bottom line, all right, let me get serious. But the bottom line in 2024, is it still necessary to get married? We concluded that if you got two people that decided we're going to live together, we're going to share everything, I'm going to be on your benefits, you're going to be on mine, and when one of us croak, you get my Social Security, my life insurance, blah blah blah. We concluded that financially, maybe getting married is not necessary. So, is it still necessary to get married in 2024? Jimmy, what do you think?
I don't think it is. And even though I am married and I've been married for quite some time, but looking at the whole overall picture, and even after our conversation last week, I don't think it's necessary. I think that it depends on your partner, if y'all have an agreement. But my biggest problem with the marriage or not being married is, what is the actual toll of not having things in writing?
Yeah.
Because we know that, okay, you always hear about the boyfriend moved in with the girlfriend, or the girlfriend moved in with the boyfriend,
Right.
and everything is all part of, whatever, and then she does whatever, he does whatever, that kind of thing, but there's never anything in writing. And, here we are, it's 2024, and I think that the whole process of, okay, if she moves in or he moves in, what keeps them there?
Yeah.
Well, I get it that having married papers and all this other good stuff. Yeah, I understand that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to actually keep them there.
Right.
So but I do believe that if you're going to not get married the official way, whether it's just a peace or a religious ceremony, anything like that, you do need to have some form of documentation, so that if something goes horribly wrong, what do you do?
Right.
But guys, before we even go further into the conversation, we do have guests tonight. And I want to make sure that we get our guests in tonight and everything else. And then I want them to say hello and introduce themselves.
Okay, I'll start. I am Charlotte. Damn, I'm good, Jones. Yeah, I want to talk about this. This is something.
We're going to get into it. All right, we're going to get into the feet first. All right. All right. Our next guest.
I'm Willie Faison, and for you that don't know me, I've been married 4 times.
Oh,
Okay.
And I'm a widow now. I've been a widow since 2010. So yeah, I have a few things to share with you about marriage.
All right. Awesome. That's what we're looking for. And then, of course, we're going to open up the phones at 615-313-355-6018. We're live now on YouTube as well as Facebook. So if you have time, call us. Once again, calls will be opened up at 6:15. So let's get into it. Shar, tell me why.
okay. So now the Social Security part, you don't get that if you're not married. Okay. If you're not married, unless you have like power of attorney or things like that, you're not entitled to be with that person if they're sick in the hospital. And if you don't have paperwork, a lot of times the children, I've seen it done, the children, the ex-wife, they can come for whatever, or the ex-husband, whatever, they can come for whatever's there, and yeah, you can put yourself to, you're not going to get everything. Let's just say that. Yeah, you got some insurance. And if your name is on the house, you got that. But other than that, you're not going to get. If you've got 5 kids by him, you're not. You have to prove that those are his children.
Okay,
And
but hold on one second, Shar. I just want to ask this question. But you've been living together for 15 years.
okay, what you saying, Jimmy?
I'm not saying anything. I'm trying to understand this whole thing. Okay, you've been living together for 15 years.
Okay.
Living together for 15 years. And okay, he's now turning 65, and then you're now 62 or 70 or whatever. And now, okay, we're at that point where you want to collect on your bennies. So if you're collecting on these things, if you're not married, you can't collect these things.
You can't get Social Security if that person dies, but if they leave you an insurance policy, sure, you get that. But you're not going to get those 15 years worth of Social Security. You're not going to get that. If you have children, you have to prove that those are his children, and that's a lot. Just take care of the baby. It's a simple thing. Just take care of it. Now, me myself, I have been married. I have been engaged, and that last time I really didn't want to get married. So I'm not coming from as the woman perspective. Oh, you got to be married. No, I'm not saying that. But you need to protect yourself, and that's probably the best way.
Okay, and see, that's what we were saying, and I'm not advocating you get married. I'm not advocating that you don't get married, but I'm advocating that if you do whatever, you need to have something in writing. That I do.
All right, so all the financial stipulations are taken care of.
All right.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what happened?
Hypothetically, all the financial stipulations are taken care of. So why get married? I mean, I will say, my lady friend said that it makes you work harder to stay in a relationship. If you're married. And I agree with that. That piece of paper that says you two are married. I agree with that. But the question is, if there's no financial, if all the financial bases are covered for both parties, why get married?
Well, okay, but what about commitment?
Pretty much.
You can
still be committed. Man.
Exactly.
You can still be committed.
Okay, Willie, explain to me. You've been married a few times, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Where does commitment lie in this whole process, whether it's marriage or not?
That is supposed to be the covenant that got you gathered together in the first place. The commitment is the beginning of the story.
Okay.
If you don't have a covenant, together, what are you doing?
Okay.
How do you start that thing off with no covenant?
Back up a little bit. What is a covenant?
It's a religious term.
No. Hold on. I want to.
No. He's explaining it because remember, before there was paper marriage, the only thing that you had between a man and a woman is a covenant. And that was a covenant to take care of each other, to make sure that they were there for one another, and to build with each other.
Right.
So all of this is going to be done as a team. This is a team sport. There are no covenants of commitment.
Team sport.
The team sport.
Yeah, because back then the man was basically the provider and did most of the things out in the field. The woman made sure clothes were clean, food was cooked, and things were in order. So, most men, we go out to work. We're not trying to, I would take and send my whole check home. I trust my woman to take care of my business. My first wife was a police officer. We did good for 13 years.
But then what happened?
Oh, she became a police officer.
That tends to be a problem.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I told her, and I could put her on the phone. She'll tell you. I said, the moment I become a second-class citizen, this is it. It's over.
Wow. Wow.
Well, I want to say this. It is according to the Bible that, God put us here to be together, for the man to be the provider and the woman to be the helpmate. So if you go according to what the Bible says, then that's what you do.
Well, it's actually called help meet.
Yes.
But I'll go with you on helpmate.
Yep. She's supposed to be the helpmeet, and then also that the word also says too that a man and the woman will be blessed, because if a man finds a woman, it's a good thing.
Right.
Yes,
You
it
know,
is.
And you know, I don't want to take and open up another can of worms, but we can get into it. We can have a conversation about it. I hear a lot of women talking about, I need to find a good man. It's not your place.
No, we're supposed to find you.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
biblically, I'm not telling you that you're not supposed to. I'm just saying, if you're biblically, you're not supposed to find the man. The man is supposed to find you. I've heard it 1,001 times. You know, I'm just looking for that good man. Well, he looking for you.
I mean,
That's how that works.
when you think
Oh,
about how many relationships kind of work when she grabbed you.
Right. That's what I was just.
Ooh,
I
if
was-
I'm not pursuing that girl, that thing is over with quick.
Damn, that was deep.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that.
Too deep for me.
And Shar, you would agree too.
Yes, and I was just going to say that. I think a lot of women, in an attempt to get married, I want to be married, that they settle and then they become, I'm going to say it like this, but it's the man of the household. The woman becomes, because she's pursuing him, you know, and
Well, it becomes who's wearing the pants in the house.
right. To me, I'm just,
You know, and I get you. I hear you. And again, it's 2024. We're at this point now where a lot of couples now are not even entertaining marriage. They're just not.
Right.
They don't want to get married. They're not even talking about it, but they want everything that a married couple would normally do. They'll tell you, I'm doing that. You know, we got the kids, we got the house, we're about to go. I've seen more housing shows where the couples are not even married and they're already buying investments like that, investment properties.
right.
House is a very, very big investment.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably one of the biggest investments you ever have.
Right.
And you're not married.
And I always wonder what happens if that,
And when
Exactly.
when the marriage is disillusioned. Yep, I agree.
the relationship is just,
You know, that's one of the biggest problems. It's 4 men here, and we're not beating up on the one woman.
No, absolutely. We're not going to do it.
All 4 of us have been in a situation to where, you know, we were looking to do something else after we came out of a bad situation.
Right.
Okay. And I know for a fact, because my aunties, my mother, you know, I always hear them talking about the guy friends, right? And the first thing that came up is, well, what that nigga got to bring to the table? You know, so all of us has probably sat down to what you got to bring to the table conversations.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, my last wife, she's deceased now. Marilyn died in 2010. But yeah, I needed to bring something to the table because she was a 6-figure, you know, earner. She was a power broker.
Oh,
You know, so it wasn't even about the money with her. It was about how are we going to work together? And I didn't come after her. She came after me. She happens to be one of my best friend's sister. Marilyn was 9 years my senior.
Okay.
And we had a wonderful time. I treated her like the woman she was.
Okay.
I still wear my wedding band to this day.
so would you get married again?
Hell no.
All right. Well, now, hold on. Folks, we got to do a station break for just a second, and we gonna talk about that in a minute, Willie. You ain't gonna leave off on that one, no. All right, you're watching Puffin Drinks live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like us, follow us, love us, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And let us get back to this. And then, by the way, we're going to start taking the phone calls, 313-355-6018. And we're going to have some questions, and we want to, talk to our audience tonight. But, Willie, let's go back to that again. Now, you've been married a few times. I'm not even going to give the numbers. Not everybody's business. But at the end of the day.
Already said the number, but go ahead.
Okay, well, all right. Well, Willie, you made it very clear that no way in hell would you ever get married.
Hell
and
no.
why is that?
Okay. I'm trying to figure out where do I need to start.
Pick a spot.
Man, just go for it.
Well, you know, Willie, I'm gonna tell you, I was in the same boat when I first got divorced. I promised God 3 white people I'd never get married again.
Okay, let me tell you, I wish my baby girl happy birthday today. I called and sang happy birthday. She turned 40 years old today.
Okay.
Now, my baby girl was from my first marriage. Okay. So she's 40. That makes her sister 42. Okay. I loved her mother dearly. We got a divorce when I became a second-class citizen. I explained that.
Right.
Okay.
That marriage lasted 13 years. Okay. But in that marriage, my first marriage, I think I purchased 3 homes. And when it was dissolved between us, I left my wife with the home, the furniture, everything. All I needed was my car, my truck, and my tools. I could make it someplace else. I went and got into another relationship that lasted 13 years. I didn't want to have any children, but I ended up with twin sons. Okay. That was, I went into a situation where I tried to blend the family.
All right.
But in that relationship, I built 2 homes. But that relationship cost me $750,000 in the divorce.
Mm.
You know, the house still stands over there at 79 Piper. Anybody can go over there and look at it. Go over there and look at it. I built that house.
Nice.
But what happened there was, okay, I'm going to take everything you got. So when a woman tells you she's going to take everything you got, what do? You fight for it? Or if you someone who's self-made, you just let her have it.
All right.
I went to court, and that situation was resolved when she told the judge that I put her in a lifestyle she could ill afford to maintain. What that cost me, that divorce was $80,000. But you know what I did? I let her have a house and everything she said she was going to take. I let her have it all. I was hurt, but I let her have it all.
Okay.
Okay.
But where does that leave you at right now, though? And then forgive me for cutting you off a little bit, but where does that leave you now? Why is it that you? Okay, I'm just going to throw a scenario out to you and everything else. A hypothetical, of course. You found Miss Right. She's show enough. All right, this is the one, and she doing everything and saying everything, and of course now she's waiting for you to actually take and put a ring on it. Are you going to do it?
Nope.
Why not?
Why should I?
We're asking you.
Because you love her,
You know?
or the sex is good, or both.
So
Yeah.
what's in that for her? If she wants to get married and you don't, why should she even be with you?
Okay, but see, you're talking about stuff. The whole time you've been on there is talking about getting his Social Security and all this. My thing is, if you want to get with me and it's going to be about the money, I'd allow you to put $1 million insurance policy on me. So
No,
if I leave, you don't have to fight my kids. You
I'm
don't
saying-
have to worry about no stuff.
Nope, that's not what I'm saying, and that's not what I said. I said that's what they're not entitled to that if they're not married. That's what I said. And then you can get life insurance whether you're married or not. You said you walked away from a house. I did the same thing when I got divorced. I walked away from all that shit because I didn't want him and I didn't want anything from him. And since my divorce, I've purchased 3 homes myself on my own.
Amen.
So I don't need somebody's stuff, but I want to be, if I want to be married and I'm dealing with you and you say you don't want to be married, why should I continue to deal with you?
Okay, but Shar, let me ask
That's
this
true.
question. Okay, but Shar and Willie, this is something that, you know, okay, we get into a little of it, all right?
Yeah.
All right. Now, you saying that you want to be married if you fell in love and everything is all right and y'all coexisting together. He's saying, no way in hell. But y'all got everything together. Y'all got the house, y'all got cars, y'all got all this other stuff together. How come he won't put a ring on it?
Hey, you got the financial ring on it already.
Yes. All that's taken care of. See, that's the question of 2024. Everything is all put together. Everybody is already taken and removed all of the legalities out. They have. You know, you got stuff that's already in writing. You done bought the house. You got the car. All these things are good to go. Hell, you didn't even bought land together. Now,
Okay, so
all of a sudden,
let's go here. Let's talk
Okay.
about my present situation.
all right, go for it.
You could be a queen. You can have it all going on for yourself. Okay. I can love you for everything you're worth. But right now, I'm satisfied in my life that I don't have to go out here and beg or be put on Front Street for something because I don't do something for you or I make you mad. See, right now, I'm a widow. I'm fully insured. I got residual income coming in. You know, like her, I've got houses. But why do I need to have a piece? You need to have a piece of paper on me, or I need to have a piece of paper on you to love you.
Oh,
I
you don't.
mean, because that's not what love is.
What if you want a woman who's
Okay.
never?
Now, y'all, Char, hold that thought for a second. Let's get this call. All right. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Doris, Jimmy.
Hi, Doris. How are you? How are you?
How are you? You know I had to call in after listening to all of this.
Yeah, we wanted you to. That's what we want. I appreciate you.
You know, Jimmy, I'm sorry. What's the name of your other host that's there that's talking about him not wanting to be married again? I just want to make sure I have
Willie.
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 Yes.
I think after listening to all of this, now that I've heard partially the reasoning behind Willie not having the desire again to get married, I think it's just the legalities of all of that he's been through with his previous wives.
True.
Because, Willie, let me ask you this. If you had not gone through that with your previous wives, now that you're with somebody that you're committed to, do you believe that you would get married to her if this was perhaps your first marriage?
If the marriage wasn't predicated on anything, I would be more inclined to get on my knees and put a ring on a woman's finger. But when you look at living, okay, I'm 65 now, I'll be 66 this year. Everything that I would want to build with a woman, I already have. And it's not saying that she can't take me to the next level. What I am saying is that why should I have to sit at a table and talk about what I need to bring to the table when I already own a few tables?
So why buy the cow when you're already getting the milk for free?
But you know what? If you have to put everything, you have to put yourself out there and say, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me, you already in trouble. Right now at this age, it's about peace. It's about I ain't trying.
Can we play some
And
holy
a
gothic
committed
music?
relationship that of marriage with this woman, you don't believe that you will have peace with this person if you decide to get married to her?
Oh yeah. If
think
I'm
your
gonna
peace will be completely diminished if you decide to take that next step, even though you're the age that you are?
Well, I've got a lot of things to think about if I decide to put a ring on another woman's finger. I've got not my children. All my children are grown and gone.
Okay.
My twin sons are retired Marines, and both my daughters are grown. I got 3 grandkids by the 2 of them. So when a man our age decides to, okay, we're getting ready to ask somebody for their hand, you got more than just the person in front of you to think about. You know, you got other feelings and you got other feelings and you got other individuals involved in your life, and you don't know whether she's going to like them or despise them. So yeah, it's got to be more to it than my feelings.
I can see if your children were babies or children.
Yeah, they're grown.
Your children are adult children. So I don't think it would matter whether they chose to like your spouse, quote unquote, like your spouse or not, because they're living their own lives. They've left the home. They're with their significant others or not. But that shouldn't have any weight on whether you decide to. I can see if they were kids. I could see if they were teenagers, but they're adults. So I don't think that should have any weight on whether you decide to make that extra commitment in marriage. I just don't think that's an excuse.
Well, I'm not making any excuses. I'm not making any excuses. I'm just sharing with you that if I do anything, I'm blending the family, whether I think I am or not, regardless to whether my children are grown and gone or infants. You know, you're blending the family. You're bringing more than just the 2 of you together. At some point in time, you are going to not be confronted, but you're going to meet the other part of my family. Like I'm going to meet the other part of yours. And I'm either going to be good to you and supportive of you and the things that you're trying to do, because that's what men do. We want to keep our woman happy.
At least that's what we're supposed to do.
Well, I'm gonna leave off with this, Jamie.
Okay.
I'll just say this. I feel like if you, Willie, I feel like if your significant other has this clear understanding that you have no desire whatsoever to get married again, and she's okay with that, it's nothing that we can say about that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like as long as she has a clear understanding and she is not expecting for you all to be married and she's fine in the situation, then it is what it is.
You know, let me share something with you about
if she desired to get married.
Let me share something with you about widows, how widows and widowers think. Most of them probably don't think this way, but the ones that have established themselves in life, they're getting still more from the grave than anybody living will ever be willing to share with them.
Right.
That's it.
You know?
Doris, I want to thank you for calling in, because we want to take and get other callers to come in too.
Okay.
And thank you, but please stay on the stay watching us and everything else, and then I'll talk to y'all soon. All right.
All right, take care.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank
Y'all
you.
have a good night.
You do the same.
You know what I think? Like I said, barring all financial stipulations, if everything was in straight financially, the wills, the trust, the benefits, what I'm bringing to the table, what you're bringing to the table, and we just said, I think we've just concluded that from that perspective, why get married? But then, why do people still want to get married? No, I'm sorry.
What if it's
I think why people don't want to get married is fear of failure. With the divorce rate in this country, 40% or higher.
Actually, it's a lot higher than that.
It's a lot higher than
It's a lot
that?
higher than
Okay,
that. Yeah,
all right.
we're looking at almost 60%.
So why get married if there's a pretty decent chance in a couple of years it's gonna fall apart? Why do it?
So what if there's a woman or a person? What if it's the woman wants to get married and the woman doesn't want to get married and the man does? Like somebody that's never been married before, that's their goal. They want to get married.
I actually think that is a little bit more than that. And then I'm just going to say the elephant in the room. I think that it's not so much the financial. I think it's the sex. Let's call a spade a spade. We don't want to talk about it, but I mean, it is the sex.
Well,
I believe I said that earlier. Thank you.
I'll put it this way. Like Willie indicated, a peace of mind is priceless.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Now, my current wife was nothing like my first wife. I mean, my first wife would just nag me about every little thing. I put the cup over here. Oh, you put the cup down too hard. Oh, you breathe too fucking loud. Blah, blah, blah. Any little fucking thing she could do to twist my goddamn nut. That was it. Now, my current wife, she don't nitpick. And when I do something, and I piss her off, it's a legitimate reason. But I can fess up to it. But she gives me peace. I can come in the house. I don't have to listen to a whole bunch of bullshit. I don't have to deal with a bunch of shit. And it's gold.
There you go.
Okay, but isn't that something that you don't have to state? I think that when you actually find your mate, whether it's male or female, that they know what you want or should know what you want.
To a degree.
No.
Marry them if y'all having issues. You shouldn't get married. And that's
Bingo.
it's
Bingo.
not working. Why would you put something on top of? Why would you try to put a foundation on some shit?
Okay, now hold that thought. We're going to kick into that in just a second. I want to do our station break. All right, you're watching Puff and Drinks live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like us, love us, follow us, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. We got a hot topic tonight, folks, and we are really debating the subject of marriage. Is it necessary or is it not necessary? And Shar, let's pick up where you left off at and everything else, and finish your statement on that.
So my last situation, like he wanted to get married, but we weren't really getting along. And I'm like, I'm not going to get married and put something on top of something that's not solid. I mean,
See?
You move further as the situation gets better. You start dating. Oh, this is good. Let's do something else. This is good. Let's do something else. But if this ain't good, why would I put a marriage on top of that? And people do that. And I think that's a big problem as well.
Okay, all right. So let's get back to the whole thing. What about the whole concept of communications? Did anybody even bother to talk about what you want and what he wants?
Well, yeah, that's the other part of the picture.
That is the hell of a picture right there.
When you're courting, it's like, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. My current situation just failed. And I mean, I had a girlfriend, it failed in August. One thing about me, people know I'm not gonna argue with you.
See,
I'm not gonna argue with you once, and I'm not gonna take you accusing me of shit I didn't do and haven't thought about doing and have never done. My grandmother used to say all the time, the person who complaining about shit is the person who's doing it.
Bingo, my first wife.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So you know what I did? Right now, I'm sitting in one of my condos, and this place is going on the market for $350,000. But guess what? Old girl's still in my house.
Hey, if you need a realtor, I'm one. So
And you know what? Dorian is selling this place for me.
So in other words, what you're saying too, Willie, is that a hit dog will holler, no matter
A hit
what.
dog will holler.
Yep.
But you know what? A hit dog, if you get hit and you're a good dog, every dog has its own day.
True.
But you know what? Depends on what they hit you with. Because I'm going to sit and listen to whatever you have to say. Whatever your complaints are, bring them on. And then I'm not going to argue with you.
One of the things I'm concerned about, and the reason I'm bringing this up and everything else is that, okay, we've all had our day. You know, I'm currently married. Rodney is married. Dennis is coexisting, and better. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. There we go.
But are you in your first marriage, your second marriage, your third marriage, or is it just this is the first time?
Who you asking?
You.
Either one of you.
oh, this is my second marriage.
I guess this would be my second relationship. Oh, he said I was coexisting, which I like. So.
Okay. And then I've been married now, going 31 years.
Now wait a minute. Last week, if it wasn't last week, y'all said Dennis was engaged, and then Dennis told me when I did y'all's show that he was divorced. He ain't mentioned engaged.
Well, Jimmy, I love this brother, but the information was incorrect.
I was
He was
wrong.
incorrect.
I misspoke. I apologize, Dennis. I thought you
You're
were.
welcome. By
Okay.
our attorneys, we're settling the situation.
Well,
right now.
and again, that's why I said coexisting. So I knew I had to be corrected on it, and I apologize. So, and folks, once again,
I am divorced, and I'm in a relationship right now.
there we go. All right.
Well, I guess it don't matter, but do you have kids in the first marriage?
Yes, 2 boys.
Okay, and you're still parenting them. You still have them. Let me tell you something. If you ever get involved in a relationship where you have dominion over those children, it is our responsibility as men to love, shelter, and protect. Period.
Oh yeah.
And if you're in a relationship and you gotten married, you need to be trying to, now that I know what I know, you need to be trying to stick it out and fight with and stick. I mean, y'all need to be trying to work together some kind of way to make this last. Forever, ever.
Why?
Let me ask, do you think
We're going to get to that. I was just about to ask that. Go ahead.
Willie? Why?
Yeah.
I like what I heard, but why?
Oh, because
Stick it
the
out.
moment you break it off with that first spouse and you have made children with them, nothing's ever going to be the same. Yeah, you can walk and go get somebody, but it is our promise that when we get together and we say, hey, we're going to do this together until death do us part, we take our vows and all of this. We need to learn how to work with one another. If you loved her enough to marry her and then put a baby in her and she loves you enough to carry that child for 9 months, you need to do everything that you possibly can to not lose that first relationship, period.
Is it for the marriage or for the? And like I said, I appreciate it and I like what I'm hearing. But is it for the relationship or for the children? Or
No, it's not for the children. It's for the relationship and the children.
So you're saying you should stay married to your first person?
I'm saying that if you need to try everything that you can within your power to make sure that you've done everything to make that work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Right.
But you don't want to walk away from it just because you see some floozy with a bigger pair, you know what's than the person. Or you looking at somebody's pants and see that it's bulging more than the one that you just had. You trying to you don't need to have your fishing rod in the water all the time.
Lord knows, no.
You know, and that was not Mr. Cotton's incident, so to speak.
Right.
I mean, I was best man at his first wedding.
Yes, he was.
So I can tell you right now, it was amicable with their split.
Yeah, it was very amicable. We're still good friends. I am definitely I am definitely in my boys' lives. They constantly taking money out of my wallet. And,
that's a wonderful thing.
You got money?
I didn't know that. We'll talk about that after the show.
I have a debit card with $20 on it.
There we go. There it is.
That's a wonderful thing because I don't hear from my sons. I hear it from them every now and then. I don't really hear from my daughters, but they're all self-sufficient.
Oh, wow.
But our job is to make sure that we cast that dominion over them, make sure that they're fed, they're sheltered, that they get their education, and they can handle themselves when it's time to present themselves to the world. After that, once they fly out the nest, that's it. Because I let my kids know I ain't your damn friend. I'm your parent.
Yeah. I hear y'all now.
I thought I was the only one that said it.
You ain't the only one. No, we're not their friends.
Ain't no friends. I don't hang out with my kids and talk shit with them. And I don't smoke weed with them. I don't smoke weed myself, but I don't do those things that they do.
Right.
They need to look at me as that's dad. And my daughter's a model out there. I mean, she loves me. I love her. My other one owns a business out in Florida. She loves me. I love her. I love my 2 grandkids.
All right.
But we have to carry ourselves as the parent, not the friend.
Absolutely.
So, Willie, you talked about wife number 1 and number 2. Both were 13 years, right? That's what you said?
The first one was 13. The second was 15.
Okay, what about wife number 3? You didn't talk about
6 months. It was a GM executive. He was crazy, batshit fucking crazy. And I moved out to Ypsilanti, and I left out that damn house and threw my wedding ring in the middle of a fucking cornfield.
I like that because it was like, okay, I'm adding. And you said your last wife that passed away, it was 9 years. That's a lot of years. And I kind of figured that third one was short. That's why I asked.
Yeah. So when Marilyn passed away, I think we had just came from Cancun. I was working at the American Red Cross saving lives as an order processing delivery specialist. I had been a carpenter for commercial and residential construction for most part of my life. This place here, I built this place. So I'm only doing things for myself now. But when I lost Marilyn, man, you know what? I actually thought, I was just so down on marriage that the right one wasn't out there for me. And when she was taken from me like that, lymphoma cancer.
Oh man.
That just tore me up. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. And this is a quote that you've heard, but you need to live by it. Once you've had good, you know exactly what bad looks like.
Oh yeah.
You ain't gonna spend no time trying to fix some shit that you can't fix.
Right.
Yeah.
They come at you out the left field talking some stuff. If they're not past something, why spend your time with them?
Right.
All right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, your time is valuable.
Yeah.
People need to learn that. I think people are so eager to be in situations that they take whatever. and they get married and it doesn't work. And then, that. Now I want to ask the ones that are, Rodney, you're divorced and married now. Do you think by being divorced, it taught you this time how to be in a marriage?
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, all of the signs were there in the first marriage, where it's like, don't do this. Look, my ex-wife was an uptight English teacher. The first love letter I wrote, she corrected it. Right then.
I love it.
Oh man.
You pay for that, nigga.
Like, how you gonna say this to me without a comma?
Right. But yeah, I mean, hey, I wouldn't say necessarily it prepared me, but I realized more things, that it was more than about me, more than about her, and things just gelled.
You know why? Because that woman loved you enough to teach you. And you love her enough to say, look, I'm going home with everything I got. See you later.
Brother.
There we go. There we go.
And I am happy when I get there, and I do not deviate.
So you don't drive around the block first 7, 8
You know
times.
what? I did.
I
drove, man. I would drive to this chapel and pray to God, just please shoot me with a fucking bolt of lightning.
Do not have me spit my liquor out. Do not. I do not. We do not
You
waste.
know what? Most of us out here wish we could find that special person that would be everything. But at this age, you sitting there looking at a whole lot of people. I mean, you got these old ass niggas out here messing with people that could be their daughters.
Yes.
Yes, see.
Yes.
Now,
You know.
and
That's all that. We're gonna do a
Yeah.
show on that too. We're gonna talk about that because that.
Once you get some old nigga to go and rupture a child like that, she ain't never gonna be the same. And then ain't no young man gonna be able to handle someone that's been exposed to what this fool imposed on her.
right.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And the same thing goes with these women.
okay, I want to do something here. Okay, so let's, and I want everybody to take turns. All right, so you have some young, I have a 19-year-old son. Let's say he wants to get married, and I meet his girlfriend, and she's 19, 20. They're both in college. They're both, studying for their professions, their careers. They're thinking about, their lives, and they're doing the right thing. Dad, I want to get married. What the hell do I tell him? Do I say, because here's the thing, the church, and I hate to sound negative, but the church is going to push marriage. That's what the church does. They're going to push marriage, but yet we have divorce rates that are 40, 50% in this country. Something is not gelling, okay? We've just said that, if you could put together some financial arrangement where both of you are covered, we just concluded, well, why get married? So what do I tell my son?
You don't tell him anything. You ask him, what does he know?
Right.
Do you realize the responsibility that you're about to take on in marrying somebody? Are you ready for this? Are you ready? As fathers, we need to ask our sons and daughters questions. We need to find out what they know. So if we recognize that they don't know what it is we know they should know because we've been through this, we need to be asking them questions and telling them this is what you need to do.
Okay, so they need to be guided, given
They
advice.
need to be guided, but that's part of the training.
See, but I'm gonna piggyback on what Willie is saying too. I think Willie he's saying in essence, ask questions of them and figure out what do you know about marriage? What do you know? Why do you want to get married?
No,
ask those questions.
I totally agree, but let's simplify.
Until they make that decision, tell them that you need to be using a condom, don't you?
Of course, agreed.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, so look, you know how I read something that said that the cerebellum in people is not fully developed until the age of 25. Okay,
And it might be longer.
Yeah, okay.
Hell, I know some 40-year-olds. Yeah.
Critical thinking skills are not developed until you are into your mid-20s. That's just a written. I mean, it kind of blew my darn mind when I read it, which was explain a couple of things I did.
All right.
But
let me take our hold your thought, but I want to take our last break and everything else. You're watching Puff and Drinks live, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like us, love us, follow us, share with us, comment, and subscribe. And once again, thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And we have approximately 4 minutes to go. And let's go and do our round table.
okay.
All right, yes. Hey, time went way. Great conversation, though.
Absolutely.
Fantastic conversation.
You know what? I guess what I'm saying is, if my son said, "Dad, I want to get married," what do you think? Do I say, "Well, son, the church preaches marriage, and the Bible says a man and a woman should become unionized," or should I tell him that, "Hey, the divorce rate is 40 to 50% in this country. When you get married, you're gonna be taking on both of you are gonna be taking on some huge responsibilities. You're gonna spend the first 2 to 3 to 4 years just getting to know each other."
Right.
Okay, Dad, is it worth it? What do I say? I'm not gonna lie to him.
Well,
What do I say?
That's perfect. You just
For
I
you.
agree. Yeah.
I mean, you came with in a roundabout way some good questions, but you need to bring the provider portion of that forward.
Agreed.
When he asks you, "Dad, what should I do?" Son, why do you want to get married? "Well, Dad, because I love you."
The
Well,
sex is good.
are you ready? Are you ready for that
Good
responsibility?
tell you that too.
Yeah.
You could tell you
Yeah.
that.
You could also say, "Hey, boy, how much did you earn last year at 19?"
Yes.
But that's a good question.
One question I didn't hear is, how long have you known her?
6 months.
And again, that could be a problem.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, boy, how much? Didn't I just buy your toothpaste last night?
Yeah.
Are you still sleeping in my house,
You
right?
call me for $20. Oh, hell. But you talking
Back in the olden days, kids, when
Come on
they
now.
decided they wanted to pair up with somebody, they brought them around to the family picnic and introduced them to the parents. They didn't just make a decision and run off to Nevada, and the next thing you know, they married. The family got a chance to know who those people were. And we don't have that these days.
Oh, you know what we have? We have social media.
Yeah.
Social media is how they actually meet and talk, and they can't really tell what the other person is thinking or feeling unless it's some type of stupid ass emoji. And then Lord knows they got to go ahead and you need a dictionary for that shit. And to answer Dennis's question and anything else, and then from my vantage point, like I said, my wife and I, we've been married for 31 years. I've known her 38 years.
Congratulations.
7 years prior to that, we dated and we actually lived together and everything else. Yes, we lived together. She'll tell you, yes. We lived together. Yes. So
I love it that you brought social media in there, because you know what you can do to help you, and social media can help you. Go Google the things I need to understand before I get married. A checklist. They exist.
it exists.
Yeah.
I agree. That's a good thing.
And then have him write you a paragraph for each one of them. How you going to do this and how you going to do that? Because guess what? You the parent.
Think about it then.
You the parent, and you're going to be the grandparent pretty soon. And it's going to be, "Daddy, can you babysit your grandkids?"
Hell
You're
no.
gonna be like,
Yes.
make sure you bring some Pampers. And do they still drink Similac? What they drinking is?
Yeah,
It's still everybody's still there.
All right,
Yep.
guys, we're almost out of time. It seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, that should we not state a position? Should we say, okay, based
No.
on no?
No, I agree.
Leave it open ended.
Yes.
Okay, all right, great.
I agree.
Great.
Let that person figure it out. Whether it's male and male,
That's
female
right,
and female, male and female, it don't matter. Let them figure it out.
Because we don't want to be sued. Yeah, what you said, don't
it's
get
not
married.
even the thought of being sued and everything else.
I was just fucking.
But you understand, it's just the point that you don't want to take and give somebody advice and then they like, oh, okay, all this
Right,
other
right,
crazy
right.
shit. But at the end of the day, let them figure this out.
Right.
We all had
We're
to.
just giving you the information.
You still got to figure it out. And like I said, I've been married the longest out of all of y'all and everything else, and I can tell you now, I'm still figuring it out, and she'll tell you. It ain't too many days I ain't did something stupid. So and I'm still working on shit. So and I'm working on me. So it is what it is.
Man, that's wonderful that you even have you're mature enough to even admit where you're lacking in those things that, because I know you depend on her in your conversations
I
to
do.
correct you on some things.
Oh yes, and she doesn't hesitate.
All right, Willie, Shar, we are out of time.
And thank y'all. We really appreciate y'all tonight.
All right. We are done, ladies and gentlemen. Puffin Drinks. The topic is getting married, worth it in 2024, and well, it's up to y'all. Good luck.
All right.
Peace.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
All right.